when you're at night and you wake up and go, Kevin, you astral projected to me? Astral projection. So leaves a bit on. I went and I visited you.
Do you do that?
Have I? Yeah, we all do it in our dreams.
Well, I know, but
Yeah,
you've
have I?
never been aware of it.
Yeah. I did a class in the 70s with my godfather, yeah.
Wow.
It's strange watching you do it.
I was just looking at it with my clock.
Somehow, you know, the thing about being young is when you drink enough water, it just has to go on.
Oh, yeah, that's what
I drink 110 to 120 alkaline water. Well, it sure keeps the cells. During the day, except what's interesting, when you take the water out of the system, then it gets yellow. So that 1 p.m. then it's cleared up. Because it doesn't.
Is your story going to be about your kids?
Your addiction. I'm not sure. You know, I had a wonderful experience when Landau Eugene Murphy, one of America's Got Talent, who was African American, went to West Virginia, had the long braids. I saw him at the and after the show, I went up there and he says, "Hey, I want to sing My Way together." And we sang My Way together out there, and there was like hundreds of people out in the lobby. And they looked at me, these guys.
Huh?
Fun,
My sister?
the other end.
Yeah, that's my sister. How you know?
Then I have another look at it. I tell myself,
I was thinking about what I'm going to do to bother her later today. I have to, it takes a lot of planning to deal with weather. Yeah. Takes dedication.
on Veterans Day, which was looking at the VA and nights like that. There was a person, someone said, died of cancer, and he died. Next day was
Yeah. I always wanted little siblings.
We're going to get the PowerPoint up here in a minute. We'll get started. Doctor. Make sure you see it. Doctor.
Dr. Blair Jones.
All right, are y'all ready?
Oh, no.
1, 2, here we go. Sunday morning, I'm a joyous soul, feeling sacred, loved, and whole. The Spirit fills me, I can't hold it in. I've got to keep it showing. Keep it showing. Keep it flowing. Keep it flowing. Keep it growing. Keep it growing. After we say the last amen, you gotta go out. Go out. You gotta reach out. Reach out. You gotta shout out. Shout out. What goes forth comes back again. There's a saying that is widely known. Fill someone's bucket and you'll fill your own. The love you give away comes back times 10. You gotta keep it showing. Keep it showing. Keep it flowing. Keep it flowing. Keep it growing. Keep it growing. After we say the last amen, you gotta go out. Go out. You gotta reach out. Reach out. You've got to shout out. Shout out. What goes forth comes back again. Take it, Jim. Go out. Reach out. Shout out. What goes forth comes back again. When you see there is a job to do, it's a blessing that has come to you. You can take this opportunity to discover who you can be, and every morning be a joyous soul. For you are sacred, love, and whole. And if you want the joy that never ends, you gotta keep it showing. Keep it showing. Keep it growing. Keep it growing. Keep it growing. Keep it growing. After we say the last amen, you gotta go out. Oh yeah, you gotta reach out. Reach out. You gotta shout out. Shout out. Because what goes forth comes back again. You got to go out. Go out. You gotta reach out. Reach out. You've got to shout out. Shout out. What goes forth comes back again. What goes forth comes back again. I tell you, what goes forth comes back again. Yeah.
Sorry about stepping on your own.
It's okay. So, of course, Blair wrote that song, and it works out great because we just went forth an hour. And so I'm glad you guys are all here because you all remembered either to set your clocks up or to look at your cell phone because it's already there for you. And my name's Rhonda Cooley. I'm your celebration assistant today for the Unity of Charlottesville, and I'm glad to be here. Appreciate the opportunity. We welcome everyone here, especially in love and peace. We come here to meet in consciousness to create those two main things, because I think they're a little important. And we want to also remind you to shut your cell phones off, and we welcome all those online today and anybody who is here for the first time. So thank you for being here. We have an opportunity to greet each other now with our welcome song, Here we go. Let's stand. Because our soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. And our own Kevin will do our opening prayer.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Kevin.
And good morning to those online. First thing would be to Susan Monson, who has performed here several times. Husband recently passed away from a stroke, so we will keep Susan Monson family and for a smooth transition for her husband, Chris. Now, please close your eyes if it's comfortable and take a real slow, deep breath. And as you release, connect to your heart and to the Christ consciousness within, knowing that here today, with this wonderful presentation from Blair Jones and the music team, that you will receive a nourishment like you've never received before. Now, as we are connected to that love and to that Christ consciousness, we see it radiating out to every part of the world and filling every place where there is conflict with peace, and everywhere that there is need for healing to take place. And we all know that as we receive that nourishment here today, that is our divine right to be one with that Christ consciousness in all creation. So it is. Amen.
We have this opportunity now to affirm together our mission statement. Together, Unity of Charlottesville is a welcoming, inclusive, spiritual community dedicated to love in action. And the foundation of unity, our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe
and in my life, God the good, omnipotent.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Coming through okay? I'm extremely nervous today. But I know. And you all are the best, and I really appreciate all the love that I feel love, you know. So I hope I'll feel also forgiveness if necessary. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Some people call me crazy, say it's time to let it go. But I didn't choose this path, it chose me. That's all I know. And it's shot me to the heavens, and it's dropped me back to earth. Some days I can't decide if it's a blessing or a curse. It's what I do, it's who I am. It's in my heart, out of my hands. It's my passion, it's my truth. I've got no choice, it's what I do. It's like a drug that's taken over, or a fire I can't put out. It's a hunger in my soul I can't live with, can't live without. But it's a chance to make a difference, to touch somebody's life. So I'll be doing this come hell or high water, till the day I die. It's what I do, it's who I am. It's in my heart, out of my hands. It's my passion, it's my truth. I've got no choice, it's what I do. Arena rock. I tried to change directions, reinvent, disappear. But every road I've taken leads me right back here. It's what I do, it's who I am. It's in my heart, out of my hands. It's my passion, it's my truth. I've got no choice, it's what I do. It's who I am. It's in my heart, out of my hands. It's my passion, it's my truth. I've got no choice, it's what I do. It's what I do. Thank you. Okay, here we go. I have multiple versions of this in case my iPad goes out. Because it could happen, you know, often does. Okay. All right, well, I'm sorry. I had intended to play my harp for you today, and last night I loaded it in the car,
because, I knew I'd have to get up an hour earlier than usual, and I was so proud of myself. And then about 7 o'clock, Tamsin Stewart called me, and she said that a friend of hers had opened a new nightclub, and it was the grand opening, and she just wanted to go, and would I go with her? Now, I know you all know Tamsin is a party animal, and I can never say no to her. So I said, sure, I'll swing by and pick you up. And so we went there. When I got there, the joint was jumping. I tell you, there were so many people, and some of them were a little sketchy looking, and I realized I had my harp in the car, and I thought I should protect my harp. So we took it in, and Tamsin asked her friend if we could store it in his office, and he said, Tams, baby, anything for you. I wondered about that. Anyway, we had a great time, and we were dancing and all, and Tamsin was getting a little out of control, a little wild, and I was thinking, I got to get up early, so I said, we got to go now. So I dropped her off, and I came home. Got up this morning, ready to go, came here, and then I realized I left my harp in Tam's friend's disco. Blue, I know you're listening. That was for you. Blue O'Connell's away today, but she loves bad puns, so. Now I guess I have to give the talk, right? I imagine that some of y'all can relate to the song I just sang. It's What I Do. And you feel a similar sense of purpose. You feel that you have a God-given calling, maybe. A passion. And you're really lucky if that's true. But maybe some of you cannot relate to that song. Maybe you feel that somewhere along the way, your plan for your most authentic life was derailed. Your dream destroyed. Or maybe you go through life simply following the path of least resistance, enjoying the ride, but feeling like you've never quite found an avenue for your highest and best efforts. If that's you, I want to suggest that you might be on exactly the right track after all. And maybe you just need to pay more attention to the road signs. And here's another analogy. I love extended metaphors. What if your life is a song and God is the composer? A beautiful, unique song, not a Billboard top hit yet, but a work in progress. Now, every good songwriter knows that composing involves lots of revisions. Now, what if the divine spirit, that expert creator that is always within you and without you, is letting the idea of you develop a bit before your big debut? Well, my life has been revised many times, certainly, but it took me years to understand that all the different versions of me were all part of the same song. So I want to share with you some pivotal moments when I suddenly felt that divine song taking shape within me. And these moments were like phone calls from my celestial producer saying, "You got something special, kid, go with it." I don't really have a producer, but I imagine what it would be like. The inspiration in these moments helped me find my way, eventually leading me to this place and my role as your music director. And do you know what the difference is between God and a music director? Well, God doesn't think he's the music director. But, now I have to revise that joke for unity because, the answer is there is no difference between God and the music director. God is in all of us. My mother was a voracious reader and a gifted storyteller, and my father wrote poetry and had a gorgeous tenor voice. So I grew up in a home where everyone loved to read, talk, and sing. My father was in a barbershop quartet called the Piedmont Pipers, and they used to practice at our house. And as a little child, I would camp outside the practice room door and just listen to those magical harmonies. They would sing these Americana songs like Auralee and Sweet Adeline, which I still love today. They still tear up when I hear them. On family road trips, Dad would teach us all to sing harmony by striking a do, and then requiring each of us to layer on mi, so, do in our birth order. And usually we sang this to the words ice cream, just like the school board and the Music Man, you know. That was one of our favorite family movies. So I'm going to make you do that right now. This is so great because we have 4 sections, right? So your part is ice cream. Let me hear that. Yeah, keep it going. You got to hold it. Ice cream. Hold it. Ice cream. Ice cream. That was beautiful. And you see, harmony's easy. It's just do, mi, so, do. It really is. That's what it is. Okay, so anyway, that's what I grew up doing, and it was a lot of fun. We were very active in our moderate Baptist, not a Southern Baptist church. It was just kind of your regular old standard, you know, Protestant church, where we sang in the choir and learned Bible stories. I loved the beautiful hymns. I was kind of noodling some of them today. Fairest Lord Jesus, and This Is My Father's World. Those were a couple of my favorites as a child. I was really fortunate in my religious indoctrination because my parents, my grandparents, the minister, they all talked about living the life that Jesus said we should live, loving your neighbor, you know, being good to each other, and forgiving one another. And I don't remember ever feeling like I was made to feel guilty or you know, somehow unworthy. And I loved the Bible verses. We had to learn a lot of Bible verses in the Baptist church. Anybody here grow up Baptist or in one of those churches where you had to learn Bible verses? I loved that. One of my favorites was, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come," Isaiah 61. That's very pertinent to my talk today. And also pertinent to my talk today is, "What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee, O Lord." That's Psalm 56:3. And I loved the moving, we had this very charismatic minister who he gave great sermons, and then sometimes he would just, at the end of his sermon, he'd just begin to sing from the pulpit. He had this beautiful Irish tenor, and it was wonderful. And, you know, I was drawn most of all to the music, the hymns and the anthems that inspired and comforted me and are still part of me. I don't remember anybody insisting that I believe in the literal truth of the Bible, but I was a child, so I probably did. At age 10, I was dunked in the baptismal pool and marked as Christ's own forever, rose from the water, a new person. My mother always emphasized that the Baptist stood for the priesthood of all believers, which is hard to, it's hard to get your mind around that, knowing that how restrictive and patriarchal the Southern Baptist Church is now, but truly that is the teaching, the priesthood of all believers. So I was never chastised for asking questions. In fact, we had many lively discussions about faith. My mother often quoted 1 Corinthians 13:11, which is probably a big favorite here too. "When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things." So as time went on, I was able to put the supernatural tales from Scripture in perspective. Maybe Jonah wasn't really swallowed by a big fish. The important thing was that he learned that he could not flee from God's calling. Well, what was God calling me to do? I wanted to know, but I really didn't have a clue. Meanwhile, my love of music was nurtured by some important mentors. Miss Lackey, the young, willowy, unconventional choir director at church who taught us interpretive dance to go with our anthems. Some of the congregants raised their eyebrows at that, I'll tell you. Lynn Stinnett, the girl that lived on the corner, teenage girl that taught me to play the ukulele and taught me all those good old folk songs, you know, Burr Lives and all those people. It was wonderful. And I had a very kind but exacting piano teacher, Miss Alice Brawley. And she always had a strawberry or a little piece of cheese for you so that when you came in after school and you were hungry. She was great. Making music was my favorite pastime, yet I didn't think of it as my calling. It was just a part of who I was, like my faith in God and Jesus' teachings. Even though I could make my peace with biblical tall tales for the most part, there was always that sticky wicket, the story of the resurrection. If you believed it, you were guaranteed a place in heaven. Even the moderate Baptists worked that into every service. If you didn't believe, all the good deeds in the world couldn't help you. You had to have that golden ticket of faith in the impossible. I need some water. I can only say this at Unity because I know some of you all can relate to what I'm talking about here. But even though I was confused by the idea that Jesus died to save me and that he survived his own death, I could sing about it with great feeling. Songs like, "Were you there when they crucified my Lord?" So beautiful. "O sacred head, sore wounded," moved me deeply. In a musical context, suddenly the essential, if not the literal truth of the story of Jesus rang true. I learned that music can transcend words, can transcend the limits of human understanding. And when I was talking about this, a friend of mine pointed me to this passage from Cold Mountain by Charles Frazier. I love that book. One thing he discovered with a great deal of astonishment was that music held more than just pleasure. There was meat to it, the grouping of sounds, their forms in the air as they rang out and faded, said something comforting about the rule of creation. What the music said was that there is a right way for things to be ordered so that life might not always be just tangle and drift, but have a shape, an aim. It was a powerful argument against the notion that things just happen. When I was a teenager, we moved and began attending an Episcopal church nearby, largely because my father liked the choir. That's when I first learned about dogma. For each Sunday, I was called upon to recite a distasteful, legalistic statement known as the Apostles' Creed. I didn't really understand it, but I knew that when I recited it, I felt like an imposter. Yet everyone around me seemed to speak the words with great conviction. So I joined in dutifully and eventually memorized it. I have since given myself permission to refrain. So if you want to know what the Apostles' Creed says, you'll have to Google it. I imagine there's some people in here that had to memorize it at some point too. There was, however, another standard element of the service that I liked quite a bit, and that was the prayer of thanksgiving that followed the Holy Communion. It's what inspired my song this morning, What Goes Forth. It's found in the Book of Common Prayer, and here's an excerpt. "We bless you for our creation, preservation, and all the blessings of this life, but above all, for your inestimable love and the redemption of the world by our Lord Jesus Christ, for the means of grace and for the hope of glory. And we pray, give us that due sense of all your mercies, that with truly thankful hearts we may show forth your praise, not only with our lips, but in our lives." I memorized this prayer and recited it with feeling how I wanted to show forth God's praise in my life. By the time I started college, I was a full-fledged folkie. Anybody else here was a folkie? Clay? I know there's some, yeah, there we go. I was into Joan Baez and Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell and Carole King. I liked being a musical dilettante. I sang in the Glee Club, I took piano and guitar lessons, I took a smattering of music theory and appreciation courses. I was really not serious enough for music major material. And so I majored in English because, raised by my brainy mom, I loved to read and talk about books. But in my junior year, something happened. I was suddenly sick of school and no longer motivated by my studies. I dropped out and I moved to Williamsburg and soon found a job working as a tavern troubadour, wearing a colonial costume with the big fotheringales. It was so cool. And singing things like John Barleycorn and Barbara Allen. And at night, I sang in a rock and roll band. When the summer came, I took off and I went to the UK and wandered around seeking out folk music. And that's when I first heard the folk harps. In Wales, I heard the triple harp, the harp that has 3 layers of strings. And in Scotland, I heard them playing this small harp they called the clarsach. And I guess, I should see, you know what they say about harpists, right? Thank you. They spend half their time tuning their instrument and the other half playing out of tune. So while I was in Scotland, I went to the romantic Isle of Skye, as in, sail bonny boat like a bird on the wing. And on the Isle of Skye, I heard this woman named Katrina McLean playing the harp and singing Gaelic songs. And I couldn't understand a word of what she said, but I was just in tears. It was so beautiful. So I think you could say that transcendent music was my first celestial phone call. Ding, ding. I returned home determined to learn to play the harp and finally determined to make music my life's work. I decided to change my major to music. I was sure I could convince them to let me start fresh and do all the remedial work necessary by going 1 extra year. I studied harp and voice. I auditioned for the voice faculty, playing my guitar and singing not Puccini or Mozart, but a folk ballad. I was rejected. I was very sad and demoralized. And now I just wanted to get out of there. I doubled up on my courses and I ended up graduating with my class 50 years ago this May. How did we get to be this old? By we, I mean, of course, the royal we, not you. I hadn't been back home long when I found a band to join as pianist and vocalist. And for the next 5 years, I traveled around the region playing in various combos, including a duo with my high school best friend who came here one time and did the music, Karen Nichols. Some of you all might remember that. It was a good time to be playing music because every hotel hired dance bands to play the top 40 hits. I became adept at copying from recordings and playing and singing in different styles. It was fun singing for bar patrons for a while, but it was ultimately unsatisfying and kind of depressing. My mother would say, "I can't stand to think about you singing your heart out for people you wouldn't give the time of day." I thought that was a little extreme, but she kind of was right about some of those folks. And so I left that life and I decided to go back to school. To music school, you ask? No. I wasn't going to chance rejection again. I went back to my comfort zone of English Lit, and I spent the next 9 years getting my PhD. That's why I wanted to make sure you all saw that. Dr. Blair Jones. I wanted to sound really impressive for you. A lot of good it's done me. But during that time, I also got married to the amazing Barry Jones, who's sitting right over there. And, raising our children, and I became very active in Emmanuel Episcopal Church, and significantly, I joined an early music group. We called ourselves the Greenwood Consort. This was directed by Raven Hunter. Some of you all probably know her. She's been a wonderful director around town. And so for 10 years, Raven, Peter, Lucy, and I performed together. Now, this music was really mystical and sacred. It was so wonderful. And the bond of friendship we had through that was incredible. And at last, I felt like my music was meaningful, and the whole time I was learning a whole lot, too, about music history and all that. During this period, I was also teaching English, first as a graduate student and then at a college near Richmond, driving 90 miles each way. this took a toll on our growing family, and I finally decided to leave that career behind. A revision was going on here, you see. At the time, it seemed like, I don't know, a door closing, but maybe not. And I decided to be a stay-at-home mom for a while. I became quite the volunteer. I was elected to the vestry, which is sort of like our board here, and tapped to head the pipe organ search committee. It was during that time that I got the ding, 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 second celestial phone call. I had been working hard to generate interest among some of the old-timers in the church who were notoriously tight-fisted. They said, what business did we have spending all that money on something so self-indulgent when we had a perfectly good electronic, I called it a machine, organ that sufficed to accompany the singing? So I would go see them. I'd meet with them individually to explain the superior value of this fine, handcrafted instrument that we wanted, that would inspire people for generations. And I got quite an earful from some of them. I'd smile, leave their house, and get in my car, and woo! So one night, I had this lucid dream, a vision, perhaps, that changed my life. And in the years since, I've often drawn on the memory to reassure me when I questioned my chosen career. Now, at first, I wasn't sure that I should tell you about this vision. So last night, I practiced my talk with my family, and I ran this past my daughter, and I said, if I tell this, people will think I'm nuts. And she replied without missing a beat, not this crowd. So I'll tell you my story. So let me describe it. I have entered the sanctuary of the church, and suddenly I'm aware of a great vibrating sound, like a beautiful sustained chord, kind of like y'all singing Ice Cream a minute ago, reverberating in all directions. Then the ceiling of the sanctuary opens, and I see these beautiful beings, somewhat like the heavenly host in a painting, but so bathed in light and color that I can't really discern their individuality. And suddenly, I am flooded with this warm feeling of certainty and purpose. I know the role I am to play. I am going to support and encourage those who create beauty through music. In knowing this, I experience joy and peace as never before. Then suddenly, a figure dressed in a long, straight black robe enters the room. The ceiling closes all at once. The ethereal beings disappear. The music of the spheres goes silent. The vision ends. But its imprint remains on my very soul. And after this, I was not bothered by the naysayers. The organ committee was steadfast, and eventually the pipe organ was built. And it's beautiful. If you ever want to go visit Emmanuel Episcopal Church, you can listen to it there. They have a great organist there. I continued to enjoy family life and my various volunteer jobs. As the children grew, I pondered new projects. I wouldn't have used these words at the time, but I opened myself to the universe of possibilities. I gave myself over to divine order. I didn't know about divine order then. I didn't know those words. But that's what I was doing. Lo and behold, around the time my youngest started preschool, Brownsville Elementary's music teacher, Donna Rehorn, whose accompanist I had been, decided to move on, and she championed me as her replacement. Together, we convinced the principal to hire me, the folky dilettante, instead of a music major. My dream come true. So I began a job I loved for the next 2 decades, during which I took all the courses and earned all the certifications to become bona fide in my field. I had the privilege and blessed stress of producing hundreds of performances, including original musicals involving thousands of wonderful and sometimes extremely challenging little people, kindergarten through 5th grade. What a wild ride that was. That was in 1999 when I began that job. I still had the 3rd celestial phone call in store. In the Emmanuel Church Choir, I first met Carol Zemer. Carol, are you in here today? There she is. We had memorable experiences singing beautiful sacred choral music in that choir. And a few years later, Carol took the position as guidance counselor at Brownsville. For a while, our rooms shared a wall. She patiently tolerated the sounds of African drums, recorders, and boisterous singing while she was trying to counsel children. Just great patience. By now, Carol was attending a new church called Unity. One day, she asked if I might be interested in auditioning for the music director position, which had come open. Divine order strikes again. What she didn't know was that for some time, I had been feeling alienated by the Episcopal liturgy, not just the creed, but the patriarchal language and the exclusive, at that time, the exclusive Eucharist open only to baptized Christians. I believe they have changed that now, right, Barry? And it's really a wonderful thing. All the things I had thought I had made my peace with at that time were bugging me. So knowing nothing about Unity, I went with her to the Sunday service. It wasn't like any church service I had ever attended. Instead of traditional hymns, there were Broadway hits and a jazzy pianist. Instead of original sin, I heard original blessing. Instead of reciting a creed that was kind of like a loyalty test, we affirmed the Christ Spirit in all of us. My questions and doubts were as welcome as my faith. I was amazed to know that such a church existed. By the time we held hands to sing the peace song, I was hooked and a little verklempt. Here was a place where I could be myself, spiritual iconoclast that I was. And that was 15 years ago, you guys. It's really gone by fast. What a world of learning and growing since then. From the beginning, Don and Patricia Lansky took me under their wing. They introduced me to Unity teachings and to a genre called positive music. They took me to Unity Village and to the Empower Music and Arts Conference, where I took classes to help me learn all the skills I would need as a Unity music director, and where I could hone my songwriting skills as I met and worked with others like me. There I met the talented folks who started the positive music movement. And you all might not know a lot about this. I'll give you a little background. Richard McDeesey and Sue Riley, you've met them. They've performed here. And all the others, and many of these people were songwriters in Nashville. And they attended the Unity Church in Nashville because it provided a more free-thinking spiritual center in a town often dominated by evangelical Christianity. And before this, the New Thought churches had largely relied on, well, either somebody just writing a song, that seemed appropriate, or taking standard conventional hymns, beautiful hymns, and changing the words. And this was the hymnal that was used for a long time. It's out of print now, Wings of Song, but I still draw things out of there. There's some great songs in there, like I Behold the Christ in You. But these seasoned composers and performers created hundreds of contemporary songs in lots of different styles on all relevant topics for the Unity teachings. And I included 3 of their songs today. I'm including 3 of their songs. Some of these folks became my mentors and friends. Inspired by them, I eventually recorded my first original solo album called What'll You Have, which includes the song we opened with, and which is available on all streaming services. Gradually, we added to our praise singers, and now it's time for y'all to come up, the band of versatile and accomplished musicians that play over here, our wonderful praise singers over here. And I've asked each of them to share a musical fun fact about themselves. So, Is everybody ready to give their musical fun fact? Are you ready to start us?
I'll just start.
Okay.
All right. Should I stand up or just?
Yeah, sure. Stand up and tell everybody your name in case they don't know.
My name's Steven. I recently joined the Praise Singers. My musical fun fact is I originally started playing guitar in high school when I was a freshman because my best friend wanted to start a punk rock band. He was to be the lead guitarist, I was to be the bassist. He quit guitar 3 months in, and I kept playing.
It's Kevin. I guess what I'll tell you a short story. I always wanted to be a singer and actor right on Broadway, but I was teaching myself how to sing operatically in the basement of our home in Detroit. And, well, in the beginning, it was not good, and it was loud, though, and my father said, "What the blankety blank are you doing down there? Would you stop that now?" So what ended up happening is I was working at the VA in Detroit, and this patient called me in after his family saw him. He was dying of cancer, and he spent his last breath with me. And then the next day was Veterans Day, and so I said, I explained to them, I said, would it be okay for me to sing the national anthem on Veterans Day? And they videoed it. So then I let my father watch it. And my father cried his eyes out. And my first name is really George, but I go by my middle name, Kevin. He goes, "Georgie, can I please keep this? I'm so sorry for all the times that I swore at you. You have such a beautiful voice. Can I keep this?" And he did.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, John.
I'm John. I grew up in a household with music. Ferrari and Teicher were playing on the stereo, Montevanti, Burt Bacharach, and every Sunday morning, Helen and Chet's Polka Party on the local radio station. My dad also was barbershop quartet singer. He was a tenor. He sang. He loved to sing. My older brother was lead singer in the late 60s in a garage band. I can't carry a tune in a bucket, so I said, well, what the hell, I'll try it. And here I am. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Karen, and there's two things. My oldest memory of singing was in the 5th grade glee club, and we were singing a song, and I was a soprano. We were hitting a high note, and I had the loudest hiccup. I didn't think I would ever sing again. I was so embarrassed, but I kept going. And then I've sung all my life in choirs, and any chance I get, we had music at home. My father was also in the barbershop quartet. But then a few years ago, I lost my voice. And I didn't know what to do, and I found out that I have a paralyzed left vocal cord. I found a marvelous vocal coach who gave me my voice back, and I can now sing mezzo, soprano, and I can still have the joy of singing.
Yeah, that one's a hard one to follow. My name is Maria. In high school, I was convinced that I needed to sing a solo for a competition. And just before I was going into the judges, I learned the small detail, which is I could not bring the music. And the song was in Italian. So I started strong, and then I got to like the second verse, and I did not sing la da da, but I did sing la la la. And long story short, the judges were merciful I was passed to the next round, and I lettered in choir. Hi, everybody. I'm Janice. I can't believe I'm telling you this story I'm about to tell you, but so many of you know that prior to becoming a psychotherapist, I had a brief career in the world of musical theater, 5 years spent in New York City. So, of all those years I spent there and all the things I did there, this is the one memory that came to me, the day I almost killed an international star. My voice teacher at the time was Dr. McDevitt, and he had his music studio where he taught voice was in the Carnegie Hall building, not on the stage, but there were many offices and condos in the building. So when I lived in New York City, as everybody in New York City does for the most part, I walked very fast, everywhere. Helen's going, did you live in New York? You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so I'm walking very fast, and I come around the corner of the Carnegie Hall building, and this man is walking very fast, and he's coming right towards me, and we are going to collide, and we both kind of dodged. And then I noticed who it was. Anyone want to try to guess? Think big band, international star, Carnegie Hall, big band. Bon Jovi? He would have been about 2 then. Come on. Did a duet album with Lady Gaga a little while back. Tony Bennett. I could have killed Tony Bennett. No, he went by and I thought, he's not as tall as I thought he would be. But anyway, I kid you not, he didn't give me the time of day I was going for a while after he walked by, just watching him keep going. That was Tony Bennett. Anyway, that's my fun fact. Oh, sorry.
Well, I have to bring up the rear on this. I have been very fortunate. My name's Rhonda, by the way. Both of my parents were professional musicians. My mother was a piano teacher for 55 years, an organist, pipe organs only.
She was a music major.
Only, yeah. Well, she had perfect pitch. It wasn't hard for her. Anyway, so I've had music in my life all my life. And my sister was a mezzo-soprano, very like operatic voice. And that's where most of my mother's focus was on my sister. I was told I would not sing because my vocal cords were twisted. And so there was really never any focus on me singing, and that was okay because that's what, but I still sang. And I did harmony, and I did all those things, and I did the folk stuff. Blair and I both graduated in '72, so I played the guitar. I did all those things. I had a band. I was in choir. We did pop, whatever. So, but then when I went to college, kind of didn't do music and still always played the guitar. But when I got into Unity 40 years ago, I immediately got into the choir, and then I also was the choir director for a while, and just stuck with that. So when Blair came along 15 years ago, we've been together 15 years, it was like, it was like a gift from heaven. It was a gift from heaven. And the reason why is because she is so similar to my mother. So every Sunday, I have a reminder of my mother. And I've told you that before. Because she's a lot like people don't realize we don't have music up here. We just have words on a paper. They just have a lead sheet. We don't rehearse. Except on Sunday morning, usually.
That's gonna change.
But we do. But I'm just saying, a lot of what we do is so based on our, just that creation that you talked about. Yeah, and we have that connection. I mean, we just connect. So I just am grateful for these 15 years.
Yeah, with all that, she's refused to do a job share with me. But that's another subject. Okay, now let's turn to our band.
We can just use this one. We have this one here. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you can use your mic.
Hi. Hi, Jim. I'm Stevie. Some of y'all might remember this, but back in the day when I was a kid, at one of the talent show and chili cook-offs, I was asked to play the violin. You know, everyone was like, "Are you gonna play the violin?" And I decided I would only do it if I was anonymous. So I wore trench coat, cowboy hat, mustache, sunglasses, and I put my name in the program as Carl McBop, and I just did that, and I played my little fiddle on the stage as Carl McBop. I don't know why.
My name's Jim,
Hi, Jim.
and I've been told to do a small, funny antidote. Is that the word?
Anecdote.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you my life story. I was born in Scotland. I don't know if you know that or not. So music was always very important to me. It's all these songs like Sky Boat Song. That was a lullaby. And my grandfather could play anything with strings except the guitar because it's tuned differently. And I grew up in a household where music was constant. My mom could not remember a word, but everything was di-di-di-di-di-di-di-di-do. And so went to grade school, and they had a great traditional folk song program. And you and I have talked about this. It's gone now. The kids don't learn these songs, but they're great. So I had an uncle that bought a Sears washing machine. They threw in a guitar, and that became my guitar. And before that, I so wanted to play music so much that the band director came in and said, "Anybody want to play cornet?" And I said, "I do." I had no idea what a cornet was. It's a baby trumpet. So I did that for a long time, and right before I went to college, I heard Duane Allman and Eric Clapton. My head went. Switched to electric, played electric through college, played electric, lived in Lynchburg for a while, played with the Lynchburg Symphony for a while, when they needed a guitar player. And you older folks, well, that's all of you, right? Maybe remember Johnny Carson, who had Doc Severinsen was his band director, and he had, after that was Tommy Newsom was his band director. Tommy Newsom came to Lynchburg to sing with the Lynchburg Symphony, and I was playing with him. I was uneasy. I was uneasy playing electric guitar with all those, gray-haired violinists, no friends. And we're playing Kansas City blues, and I'm rocking, having a great time. He stops everything, and Tommy Newsom goes, "Let's try that again with the guitar really, really low." And I just kind of sank into the thing. And so I came in, and when I went to any place when I moved after college, I played soccer to meet people, and I played music to meet people. And about 20 years ago, I was at a bad place in my life. I was separated, soon to be divorced, lost a job, lost a church community, lost a lot of things in that time frame, and was feeling lost myself. And I had a friend tell me that there's this group that needed a guitar player so they can put out their CD and promote it. And the group was, what was the name of that group? Sweet Trouble. Sweet Trouble. This lady picked me off the streets. And she and her friends kind of got my act together again. Just I felt lost, and she helped bring me back. And yeah, that's the story.
So this is the third band we've been
And then we did like the musical theater stuff and all that, and got me into that, and then got me, want to come play music in Unity? Sure, what's Unity? So I did that. So anyway, that's a lot of stories. So I got more. Come back and I'll tell you more.
Hi, my name is Ty. Oh, thank you. I seem to not know how to use a microphone. When I was about 4 years old, my parents took me to a UVA orchestra family holiday concert. And at some point during the performance, I don't exactly remember when this was, I informed my parents I wanted to learn every single instrument in the orchestra and proceed to become a conductor.
Oh.
I did not follow through, but I did learn. I did formally study more than 10 musical instruments, electric bass actually not included.
What a great, I've learned so much just now. I love that. Thank you all for sharing. So, from your hearts, that was really special, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming here every Sunday and making this music program work for all of us and wonderful. Yeah, a hand for these guys. I haven't finished. I have one more thing to say. Okay, this is, I'm to the close. I'm drawing to the close now. I know this has been going on for a while, but you know, I'm unaccustomed to public speaking. Soon we will have a new minister, and I can't wait to see what their vision will be for our music program. Will they have a preference for traditional or classical pop style? Will they want to play and sing too, like Don and Patricia did? Will they love the idea of expanding opportunities for musical participation? All that remains to be seen. But I want to assure you that I will strive to be as flexible as you need me to be. And someday, when it's my turn to pass on this baton, I'll do my best to facilitate the transition, because that is what I was called to do. And in closing, thanks to Carol Zemer, Don and Patricia, and all of you, and with the assistance of divine order, my crooked road led me at last to the perfect place for me to respond to all three of those celestial phone calls. The ideal place to show forth my praise for the gifts of the Spirit, both with my lips and in my life. I feel blessed beyond measure to be part of the Unity family. And I hope my story will inspire you to stay open and receptive to the call of Spirit and to trust your creative spark. For each one of you is a beautiful song that God within you is composing. Thank you so much for listening. Love you all. Thank you. And thank you so much. You all are so kind. And now, Carolyn Kinane is going to lead us in meditation, and we're going to go into meditation with, this is our fledgling choir. They're going to be singing a Baptist hymn, one of my favorites.
us take a moment now to turn inward. If it feels comfortable to close your eyes, doing so, and allowing the body, the full self, to settle into stillness. Feeling the chair supporting you, that embrace of gravity, the feet touching the ground. I invite you to take a slow, easy breath in, basking in these stories and this beauty, and releasing it. Allowing the mind to go quiet and to arrive fully in this moment. We affirm there is one presence and one power, the loving, creative Spirit. The divine presence, however we name it, is not distant, is not separate from us. It lives and moves and expresses within us. Right here, right now, the divine composer is expressing life through you. Imagine for a moment that your life is a song. Not a finished piece, but a beautiful work still unfolding. Every turning of the path, every season of joy or uncertainty is part of the melody. Sometimes the music swells with confidence, and sometimes it grows quiet and reflective. And sometimes the composer revises the score, and yet the song continues. In the wisdom of divine order, nothing is wasted. Every note belongs. Every movement has meaning. Bringing the awareness to the center of your heart, feeling that Christ presence, the divine potential within each of us. That presence is wise and creative, like a gentle melody inside you. That quiet inner knowing may come as a feeling of peace about a decision or an idea that keeps returning to us, or as sudden clarity like a celestial phone call that says, "Pay attention, there is something here." In a moment, we will enter a period of silence, a sacred space where the mind grows quiet and the souls listen. Here, we do not have to force. We do not have to figure everything out. We become willing to listen, to let the music of life unfold in its own perfect rhythm. During this quiet time, you may simply rest in the presence of the divine composer within you, or hold a gentle awareness of this idea. My life is a song of spirit unfolding in divine order. Let us now enter the stillness together. the music of spirit continues to unfold within us. Gently returning awareness to the room. Taking a deeper breath to feel the life energy ready to express this song. The same presence we touched in this silence goes with us every moment of our lives. Each kind word, each creative idea, each act of compassion is another beautiful phrase in the song we are here to sing. Let us silently affirm, I listen for the guidance of spirit. I trust the unfolding of my life. My life shows forth the song of spirit. And with gratitude, I allow the divine composer to continue the beautiful music of my life. And so it is. Amen.
So it's that time in our service where we get to give back. It feels so much better to give sometimes, and we want to do that today. We try to make it easy here with the QR code you can use, or you can text to give. And we also wanted to announce that we're going to be having Spring into the Future time. We're going to do a fundraiser. I like to call them fundraisers. A spring fundraiser starting on March 1st, which is already come and gone. And our goal is $135,000. So we have a number of things. You know, the church is 20 years old this year. And so there's things that need to be fixed and upgraded, especially the HVAC and the sound and a number of other things, trim and soffit and the floor in the downstairs. So you'll know more about that. You'll get an email on more about what's going on with that fundraiser. So let's bless our tithes and offerings. Do you have a? Sure. Come on. We're just running late. So.
Hi, I just wanted to share some exciting news. We heard about the fundraiser, and it has just started, and we have already received $40,000 towards our goal from some anonymous donors. So that is a wonderful start, and we hope that we will keep that momentum going, and you will see those dollars come into action. Thank you so much to the donors that participated in that. And Wayne will be getting some proposals on an HVAC for the Fillmore House, which is desperately needed right now by the kids that are using it. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. That's a great announcement. Keep it coming. So let's hold those gifts in our hands and our hearts, and we'll bless them today. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Take it away, Blair.
Okay, we're going to all sing this song, and you'll learn it. Start a cappella. Here we go. Ready. Wait a minute, wrong key. We changed the key, didn't we?
Yeah, it's in
okay.
C.
C. Music speaks louder than words. It's the only thing
to. Music speaks louder than words. When you sing, people understand. Sometimes the love you feel inside gets lost between your heart and your mind, and the words don't really say the things you wanted them to. But then you hear in someone's song what you've been trying to say all along, and somehow with the magic of music, the message comes through, right on through. Sing with us, that's because music speaks louder than words. It's the only thing that the whole world listens to. Music speaks louder than words. When you sing, people understand. The longer I live, the more I find that people seldom take the time to really get to know a stranger and make him a friend. Reach out, won't you reach out? But the power of a simple song can make everybody feel they belong. Maybe singing and playing can bring us together again. Amen. That's because music speaks louder than words. It's the only thing that the whole world listens to. Music speaks louder than words. When you sing, people understand. Let's do it a cappella now. Here we go. Music speaks louder than words. It's the only thing that the whole world listens to. Music speaks louder than words. When you sing, people understand. One more time, let me hear you now. Music speaks louder than words. It's the only thing that the whole world listens to. Music speaks louder than words. When you sing, let's try that again. When you sing, sounds so beautiful. Let's sing it one more time. When you sing, people understand.
Thank you, Blair. Thank you, praise singers. So we bless these gifts and the givers, and we see them going out and multiplying and moving into our fundraiser fund. We are grateful for all that we receive. Just a few quick opportunities for transformation. The hospitality team are looking for some volunteers. Those are the people that help downstairs, that make the coffee and have the snacks and clean up and all that. So talk to, I think, Marge or Christy? Oh, Marge, well, Marge, somebody was standing up. So we're running late, so. Okay,
Oh,
well,
wow. Happy birthday.
We're good for that. Happy birthday.
Sing happy birthday to you
So
down
yeah,
there.
Marge or Christy been running hospitality. The screen isn't working here. Media team members are also sought. The media team, of course, is the sound. And you would talk to Amy or Bob or Greg, that are the main guys. Mostly Amy now is in charge, correct, Amy? Right. They also seek some iPad donations. Generation 6 or higher. That's pretty low, actually. I think so if you have, you have those iPads, they're really not, you're ready to upgrade, donate the one to the media team. Also for the Easter potluck that comes up, we have these wonderful potlucks on Easter, and the hospitality team will need help with that as well. We have a book study group on Saturdays. The next meeting is March 14th from 10 to 12. Contact Ginger if you have any questions. It's the Spiritual Explorers, and it's done by Zoom. And the James Keelogan, March 14th. Did I say that good?
Killigan.
Killigan. All right.
I never can get it.
I'm from Ohio. What do I know? Anyway, these are great. We just had one last week, 7 o'clock, March 14th. It's the Focus Music Songmaker Series. And at the end of the service, as always, we have our healing helpers in the corner with PMH and individual prayer up here with Buddy if anybody is in need of prayer. And next week, Reverend Alva Pope returns. You may have seen her speak before. She's very dynamic. And so we all know we're looking for a new minister. So we need to affirm this and really take it in and come together as a community and start creating, what do you want? What is it that we're looking for? So let's together affirm our affirmation for a new minister. We are open and receptive to the right and perfect unity minister to accept our invitation to lead, serve, and guide Unity of Charlottesville into our next phase of vibrant ministry. We see this process unfolding with ease, grace, wisdom, and understanding, all in divine timing. We give thanks that it is so, and release this prayer to the universe in the name and after the nature of the Christ within. And if you build it, they will come. We're building it right now. So thank yous all around, our sound team, Greg and Bob and Amy, doing a great work today, of course.
The new overhead projector.
Our blessing team, Buddy and Kathleen and Maggie, help you for greeting people coming in. Hospitality is Marge downstairs. We'll have, after the service, go on downstairs and have some hospitality. And of course, without, come on. Blair Jones, our music director.
Dr. Blair.
Give it up for Blair.
I'm sorry I was so long-winded, you guys.
It's just 15 minutes of our day.
I have great...
And our music team, as always, now you know them more, even better than ever before. It's things I didn't know. So thank you to everyone who makes this service possible. So let us stand and sing the peace song, and then we'll have the prayer for protection.
Wrong pedal.
of God surrounds me. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love of God. The power of God protects me. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over me. I am the presence of God. For wherever I am, God is. Let the music live on through you this week. Blessings.
Be the song you want to hear.